The sprint's been going very well.
Yeah?
I've been doing them twice a day or 3 times a day when I can. Just to make sure everything's all fast. Speed's gonna win this. I have a very distinct feeling the other heavyweights at this level are going to be lumbering. Inspiring to have just adopted just letting people throw shots at me. Like not even really hitting back, just working on covering up, working on composure, working on movement, working on getting inside.
Yeah. Cool.
I think that's going to be the best way for me to go about this, is to get inside and then bash away from the middle.
My name is George Al-Koura. I'm 23 years old. I'm a full-time student and a reservist soldier there. I've been fighting for 4 or 5 years of stand-up fighting and grappled all through high school. I've been boxing specifically for about a year and a half.
Generally speaking, it's very difficult for athletes to transition from one sport to the other after so many years of adopting a certain style and certain techniques. There's an adaptation period that's required to change discipline.
Well, initially it was myself as a Thai boxer. I started with Muay Thai. I was 19 years old and had a lot of bad things going on in my life when I was 19. Went through a rough go, lost a parent and stuff there, and kind of needed something to deal with, I guess, the depression and the bad feelings of it. A friend of mine introduced me to Muay Thai and just kind of got hooked to it from there. Eventually though, I wanted to start competing in Muay Thai and kickboxing, and I noticed that the hands weren't exactly a well-developed art in those sports. So the only way I could figure out to do to give myself an advantage was to go find a good boxing coach and learn how to be a good pure boxer and introduce that to my game. And that's where Jay came in.
When he first came to see me, we had discussed the relationships between coaches and athletes. From what George was expressing to me, I had felt that some of the coaches that he had encountered in the past weren't putting quality time and observation in what he had to correct.
Jay basically took a ground-up approach. Started with the footwork, started with the hands, started with just mental approach to the game and how I should strategically think about it. And then we did skills development. So we started working hand speed, we started working power. We started doing all the little things that need to be the building blocks to be a good boxer.
We basically sat down, took things like as they were, and we discussed the nature of how we should approach this transition to the boxing game. From that point on, we've made sure that we did not leave any elements out, mainly sticking to those same basics and just repeating them and repeating them and repeating them.
The first thing we did was to differentiate between the fundamentals of Muay Thai and kickboxing from pure boxing, which you can see is a lot of footwork, a lot of work on the 45. You heard us mentioning earlier at the cone drill, talking about staying within that 45. Since I've done Muay Thai for so long beforehand, it's a lot more of a square stance, which in boxing will, put you to sleep pretty fast if you decide to walk in the ring like that.
The approach we have for George's progression and development, it's mainly just developing his skills and him getting very comfortable in the ring and building a lot of resistance and basically throwing with a lot of power, which is the approach we want for his professional career, which will be beneficial not only for his boxing but also for his mixed martial arts.
Eventually now you're seeing a little bit more of a polished product, but if you had seen how I was with Jay a year and a half ago, it was a completely different fighter. If you see some of my fights, I do mixed martial arts as well. Just working with Jay gave me a competitive edge in Muay Thai bouts and mixed martial arts bouts. I've almost knocked out opponents purely on boxing, just from the advantage that learning from Jay has given me.
We've seen some tremendous improvement with George's skills and with his speed and also his strength.
It's something that you don't see like right away quickly, but it happens incrementally so fast that when you look at it in retrospect over a year and a half, you see a completely different fighter than what walked in here originally.
It's our game plan, and it's what we choose to continue doing for the continuity of his short amateur career.
I mean, the whole approach was to become a great Thai boxer and to become a great boxer, and then put it together, right? Right now, we're just at the phase where I'm becoming a good boxer, and I'm becoming I still am a good Thai boxer. The next step, I think, is going to be hybriding them together into a really good mixed game plan. But the key was becoming a good fundamental boxer first. And that's the benefit of training with Jay, is that he has the skills and he has the knowledge to transfer that.
What does it take to go from amateur to pro?
Funny enough, there's a lot of professionals out there that are lacking a lot of skills. It's the one negative thing that I find that you may see in boxing is that you'll see often professional fighters that aren't prepared to turn pro, and they become just a body for an opponent who has a lot more skill, a lot more speed, a lot more power, and more technique. So, in my opinion, the big importance before turning pro is to make sure that all the fundamentals are covered, and that the athlete is well prepared condition-wise and will not get injured in the ring. That's the main priority here in my boxing program.
Do you want me to come in close and like break a fucking rib? Is what you're saying?
Well, there's a camera and the language.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Look, sorry.
No worries.
Okay, so here, yes, I want you to break ribs. Okay, okay, that's